Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, today is the video for the big boys and big girls. Best MMORPGs for 2024. I will share with you information about MMORPGs which will be launched, the release date in 2024, and which could be launched or at least to have early access in the 2024. My name is PLK. I'm a little bit hyped about that. I really love MMORPGs. If you're into this as well, consider to subscribe and let's go. And the first one for sure will be Throne and Liberty. So Throne and Liberty is the game that has already been released in Korea and is set to have a global launch in early 2024, somewhere between Q2 and Q3. And Throne and Liberty is basically Lineage 3 to some degree. Truly open world PvP and PvE, huge sieges and a lot of guild and party activities. All that we like from the Korean MMORPGs. Despite a mixed reception during the beta, there are reasons to be hopeful about the game. Developers have listened to feedback and made changes to address every major complaint, such as improving combat and removing autoplay mobile features. The visuals are impressive. I mean, come on, this looks pretty good. And it works really optimized in the big PvP battles. The game features a dynamic weather, a time-of-the-day system that affects enemies, abilities and terrain. It also offers a classless system where skills and abilities are determined by the weapon you choose to equip. There are also some concerns about the monetization, as it includes internal marketplace features that could help to buy items and gear by real money. But it's not so bad like we thought at the beginning. It's something close to World of Warcraft when you can buy the levels or gear for the freebies rate. And you can find a lot of information about this game on this channel. I'm playing it right now and we're growing super fast. So if you're into this stuff, consider to subscribe, like the video and let's go forward. It will mean a lot for me, guys. Thank you for this community, I love you. Core Punk is the game that we have been keeping track for quite some time. It's a top-down MMO that plays similar to MOBA in an MMO world. It features mouse click movement, skill shots, and a class system where players choose from the roster of the heroes, like in League of Legends or Dota 2. The game offers a seamless open world with various biomes, including forests, deserts, and more. These zones are filled with enemies, camps, ruins, caves, and strongholds, as well as a small village and large cities with NPCs and other players. In Core Punk, players can expect questing, leveling, grinding for a loot, and gearing up. The game includes dungeons and raids and other group challenges for PvE content and PvP, also ranged in different varieties, from open world encounters to structured fights in arena and battlegrounds. Core Punk also features traditional MMO system like crafting and gathering, farming, pack deliverables, epic quests, and guild systems. The gear in Core Punk is purely cosmetic, while hero power and progression come from the artifacts that affect abilities and grant access to new powers. Players can customize their heroes by selecting different playstyle-focused skill trees. The game is set in a top-down perspective, and it's super similar to the MOBA. Core Punk development has been progressing steadily, with the first look playtests and upcoming tests scheduled for the next year. The game is targeting at 2024 for the release year and seems to be on track to meet this goal. So pretty unique and interesting experience what they are proposing to us. Everybody loves League of Legends and Dota 2. Everybody hates to play these games because sometimes it's like 1 hour of toxicity and then you know, defeat it. Maybe the MMO with such kind of interactions will be interesting. Let's see. The next one will be the Blue Protocol. This one I also tried during the Japanese launch. So Blue Protocol is an action combat anime MMO developed by Bandai Namco. The game features seamless exploration and takes place in a shared world with instance zone and players' caps. What does it mean? That means it's not the open world fully MMORPG. This is the RPG with cooperation mechanics. You can see some players in the city, you can see some players in the zones, you can go to the dungeons and raids, but it will be capped number of people, I don't know the number. Also, the zones will be with loading screens, but if you're into that, this game looks pretty amazing, have many mechanics, and definitely will be popular. So the game offers various biomes to explore, including forests and deserts. Blue Protocol includes PvE content like dungeons and raids and world events, like I said. It also offers PvP modes and open world combat. The game has a class system where players select from the roster of heroes, each with their own backstory and 3 different masteries. Combat is fast-paced and impactful, like all the Asian MMOs, right? With a focus on skills and special abilities. The game is free to play and is scheduled to have a global release in 2024 on PC, PlayStation, and Xbox platforms. And the main thing about this game, the main uniqueness about this game, it's not anime style. It's the jiggle physics. You know, Google it. Jiggle physics. Yep. Pretty nice. Tried myself. Love it. The next one is, surprisingly, Dune Awakening. The Dune. This game from my childhood. Now we have this pretty cool first part of the movie, right? And now we'll have this game. What is that? Dune Awakening is an open-world survival MMO being developed by Funcom. And we know Funcom by the games like Anarchy Online, Conan Exiles, and many more. And these guys knows how to do the good MMORPG. So the game combines social interactivity from large-scale persistent multiplayer games with unique and ambitious survival mechanics. It is set in the dunes of Arrakis, a vast and seamless world that will be shared by thousands of players. The game features third-person combat, including small-scale engagement and massive battles. It also incorporates elements of magic and includes ground and air vehicles. The environment in Dune Awakening is constantly changing due to sandstorms, which can bury areas and reveal new locations and secrets. The game is scheduled to enter the Steam Early Access in 2024. And it looks like these guys are super focused on the survival part from the last games like the Conan Exiles. It's not for everybody, but they are trying to balance these games. Maybe Dune will be the perfect balance. I don't know. It's a good company. It's a good franchise. Let's see. Once Human. Once Human is a third-person, open-world MMO that combines systems and mechanics from the looter, shooter, and survival games. It offers seamless exploration and various environments, such as cities, wilderness, and indoor areas. The game includes PvE content like strongholds, public events, boss fights, and even group dungeons, and PvP is also available, both in competitive modes and open-world combat. Once Human features a variety of weapons, high-tech gadgets, and abilities, including vehicles and mech suits. It incorporates survival mechanics like thirst, hunger, and base buildings, and the game is scheduled to release in 2024. It's basically the day before the normal one. You know, it's also pretty close by the lore and everything to the Remnant, which is the good game, and the idea behind that, as I said, from the day before, close to this, but it looks like by the feedback from the community who tried the betas, the game is good. So if you're into that, this is the game for you. The Quinfall. I mean, we saw so many good things about this game, but is it a real game? Is it a real good game, or it's on the trailers? Let's see. The Quinfall is a new medieval fantasy MMORPG from an independent Turkish studio. Developers promise diverse world, numerous classic PvP and PvE activities, and well-optimized graphics with a ray tracing support. The combat mechanics will be based on a non-targeting system, giving players the opportunity to demonstrate their skills and reaction time, which is super tough task, because we have Black Desert Online and we have World of Warcraft. World of Warcraft have top targeting system, it's more slow, it's more fake, but it allows you to have the strategy during the dungeons, the raids, you know, to have all these skills to use them. And you have BDO, which is super sexy looking game, action combat, but sometimes with latency and, you know, it could be clunky. So action combat for the MMORPG is pretty tough. I don't say that BDO is bad, BDO is pretty good game. But let's see how the Turkish guys will, you know, manage this. In addition to battles with monsters and bosses in PvE, the battles with other players in open-world combat and castle sieges. The developers promise exciting naval battles. Also, I mean, so many things. Other features include a housing system that includes building your own home, the ability to have a pet mount, and even creating your own island for your clan. Players can manage their own establishments like taverns and shops, engage in livestock farming, alchemy, and gathering. So it's like perfect MMORPG, the classic one, without some, you know, experimental stuff, but everything that we love and want in a MMORPG will be here, like developers said. I know also the rumors that they don't have enough people to produce such a game, but I really hope, I every time will hope that they can manage it and we will have a good MMORPG, good classic MMORPG. So it's set in Steam that early access will start in Q1, Q2 2024. Let's hope about that, right? Quinfall. And it looks amazing, actually. By trailers and everything, it looks amazing. Now, the next section will be the games that could be released in 2024, or at least have early access or at least some large betas or something like that. So let's see what we have here. For sure, the first one, Ashes of Creation. It's my personal favorite because I really love the classical MMORPGs. And if they will make the Ultima Online in 3D, top targeting system with hybrid from action combat, I really think that top targeting system still better with some hybrid and action, buttons for the MMORPGs. And all these mechanics that they shows us during the podcasts and betas, it looks super interesting. So, Ashes of Creation. This game promises to bring something super interesting to the classic genre, specifically full-fledged sandbox mechanics. Developers promise that the game will feature dynamic world structure that reacts to player action. For example, cities will grow or decline based on how players shape the world history. It will be based on the questing around the area, it will be based around the upgrades of the city. You will have this super complicated mayor and politics system, you will have different types of the cities, and all of that, it's not the core gameplay, it's the gameplay. The core gameplay is always the dungeons, the raids, the PvP, the classes, and it's high fantasy game, right? Also, players will not only be able to build their own homes anywhere in the world, but also manage entire land properties, from farms to mansions, acquiring any real estate. The game will also offer familiar PvP and PvE mechanics, like I said, as well as participation in a large-scale castle sieges. I mean, all these games are proposing the castle sieges to us, and from previous games, I think only Black Desert Online and Lineage franchises have the real sieges of the castles, which is Korean MMORPGs. But let's hope. So Ashes of Creation, the feedback from the community is super good. The developers are super transparent and open, and they experienced ones, and it looks pretty good. So I hope we'll have this. Next one, Pax Dei. Pax Dei is the social sandbox MMO that transfers us to the fantasy medieval world with the emphasis on social interaction. There will be no NPCs in the game, and all resources and items will be created by players themselves. And the nearest beta, few streamers did the full cities with their communities. The full cities near the mountain with all these, staircases, the castles, the towers. It actually looks pretty good. So the social part is good. So crafting, trading, building your own village and forming clans, all of this will happen in the open world. The territory will be designated for peaceful activities, while for battles and exploration you will have to venture into the desert. Here, players will encounter battles with monsters and enemy clans, as well as puzzles with valuable rewards. It sounds pretty interesting. The only thing that I lack from all this information, it's the endgame content. Because all these empty worlds without the NPCs, we have few bad examples, like Fallout 76. The games died, right? Or we have the good example, like Rust, which is not MMORPG, but by the mechanics and things, it's kind of on this direction. I don't know, let's see what we'll have in this game, but now it looks really promising. And the developers behind that, they have people with huge experience. So let's see. The next one is Soulframe. Soulframe is upcoming free-to-play MMORPG from the creators of Warframe. The game's central theme is a collision of nature and humanity, with the world itself as a central character. The focus is on exploration and cooperative PvE battles. I mean, like in Warframe, right? But in the medieval settings. Not a medieval, but fantasy medieval. So, with the knights and mages and all this stuff. And you can like Warframe or you could hate it, but the game is pretty good and the game is pretty deep. So the developers knows how to do this type of genre. The game will feature procedural generated cave networks and a hub area that is open location, customizable to your liking. Compared to Warframe, battles in Soulframe will be slower. You can block enemy attacks, dodge their strikes and more. Soulframe is still in the early stages of the development, so there are not much information available at this moment, and maybe we will have some betas or even alphas till the end of next year, but this is definitely on our radars. Chrono Odyssey. Chrono Odyssey is a high-budget fantasy MMORPG from Korean developers using the Unreal Engine 5, which looks amazing. The project offers an intriguing storyline where players will act as members of the special organization, waging war against 12 gods while traveling through the space and time. The game will also feature dungeons, various battlefields and large-scale players versus players battles. Developers promises engaging combat system that requires unpredictability and control. You will need to master the basic of attacks, defense, evasion, as well as switch between multiple weapon types in real time to win battles. Currently 6 classes are announced, such as Swordsman, Ranger, Wizard, Paladin, Berserk and Assassin, with likely additional in future updates. There are also advanced character editor for customization, your appearance, expressing your individuality. And this is Korean MMORPG, so combat will be good here, but what about the gameplay and what's the day-to-day activities in this game? It's a shadow, so we don't know that. And of course, World of Warcraft, The War Within. It was announced that we will have 3 big expansions in nearest time in the World of Warcraft. So, during the opening ceremony of BlizzCon 2023, the World Soul Saga, a trilogy of upcoming expansion, was announced. The developers then provided details about the first expansion in the trilogy, The War Within, which focuses on underground horrors of the Kingdom of Nerubians. Players will embark on a journey to a new area with 4 locations inhabited and a new allied race called Earthen. Players can look forward to 8 new dungeons and a raid with the 8 bosses. Character progression will be now account-wide. An expansion will introduce heroic talents unique to each specialization. At the maximum level of 80, characters will have 10 points to allocate to these talents. One of the expansion features is the new activity called Deep Delving. It will be similar to open-world dungeons. Players can explore solo or in groups of up to 5, engaging in battles and solving puzzles to earn valuable rewards. The expansion is set to be released in 2024, likely in the fall. And it looks like they're trying to change the game a little bit. They're trying to make it balance everything with the races and classes, but also they're trying to add some uniqueness to the game. Maybe it will be interesting. So you have it, boys and girls. The next year, with all these games on the horizon and Throne of Liberty that we can play right now in Korea, and we'll start to play it in Q1, Q2 global release, it's so good. To be the lover of MMORPG right now is the good time. And I was happy to see you guys. If you want to comment something below, please do that. What other games I didn't mention, and there are a lot of them that you want to know about or you think it should be in the list, right? Of course, subscribe, please. I love you guys. As I said, we're growing super fast, so, be part of the community. And this channel about MMORPGs, now we're playing Throne of Liberty. Maybe next year we'll play something else. Come, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.